my last question before I turn it over to the fans is just, what do you all hope for that we take away from the final season of How I Met Your Mother?
This show has always been an affirmation of hopefulness and of optimism, and I think it was, Craig and I started writing it at a time when we had just left New York City, which was kind of our home, to come out here, and we didn't know anyone here, and we really missed our friends back there, and it's a Valentine to things like friendship and love, and I think I'd like to think that this season will kind of be we'll sum that all up in one package. I think our show has always worked better. Like the things that always make us smile the most when we talk to fans and people who like the show is just when our show is what they use to cheer themselves up, and like it's nice kind of being that utility for people, and I think we take that responsibility very seriously, and the next 24 episodes I think will show that.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the hidden secrets of How I Met Your Mother is it's kind of also a drama in some ways. Like, thank you guys for sticking with us through all of the ups and downs of the story that we've told. We've been able to tell some dark parts of life too, and show how your friends get you through those times. And like to me, that's why the show has worked and what holds this gang together. And I think it's so beautifully acted by this cast. I think this cast has allowed us to write not just a sitcom, but a story, a movie, a novel, whatever. And it's thank you guys for being so good and being able to pull all of those speeds off. And you're going to see all of those speeds in season 9. I mean, season 9 is going to be beautiful and funny and dramatic and awesome. And I think it's going to be the appropriate end to the story.
Season 9, super fun.
Do you want to say something, Ben? Oh, a few years ago, I was in Mallorca, and there was this 23-year-old kid I met who owned the bar. His father had just died. He owned like the local bar. I was in this little town, and he had never been off the island of Mallorca, and he was the biggest How I Met Your Mother fan. He knew every word of knew the show way better than any of us know the show. And like I said, I was eating there one time. I said, hey, can I have an extra napkin or something? And he was like, no can do'sville, baby doll. And yeah, this kid was like a serious How I Met Your Mother fan. And one night, there was only this one bar in town, and I became friends with all these people who were there. And he put his arm around me one time. He says, you know why I love your show so much? It's because it's all a flashback from the future, but it's to the present. So it helps me to realize that the future, or the past is now, and these are all like his great memories, and it reminds me to really enjoy my life and be present for my life, because these are going to be my memories. And I thought there was something really special about that, like he had learned how to kind of appreciate his life in a much more like vital way, because he loved our show so much, and to me that summed something up for me really beautifully.
That's awesome. Yeah, when we pitched the show first, we went into CBS and we said it's a guy's 100 best memories of his late 20s and early 30s, and we're going to hit episode 200 this year, which I think is pretty cool.
Jason?
I think for me, I've only been a part prior to this of shows that didn't even make it a full season. No, it's true. No, there's some freaks and geeks. Thanks. To have a show go this long, I think what I take from it most is sort of there's a relationship that we've built, us, Because unlike going to a movie where everything shuts off and you're there to focus on this sort of presentation, the show's happening while people are living their lives. Like you're cooking dinner and you're playing with your kids and we're in your homes. And there's this sort of familiarity that develops, and I see it when someone comes up on the street or when you meet someone. And that's a very special thing, I think. I feel like we've done something together for the past decade, and I think that's pretty cool. So that's my answer.
Back at you.
Your family's here, Neil. Gosh, I mean, this has been such a wild ride, and when I think back to that first pilot and thinking like, oh, maybe it'll go, maybe it won't. I didn't expect myself I didn't expect to find myself here like 8 years later, and I feel so honored to be a part of this group. And I think for me, on like a personal level, I hope that all of you really enjoy this next season, and Carter and Craig and all of our writers are doing an amazing job of putting out these stories that will end the show in the way that they intended it from the beginning, which is awesome. But I'm, just excited to spend this time with these lovely people and our awesome crew, and just kind of absorb everything. I feel very lucky that that you get to kind of say goodbye. We get to say goodbye to you guys, and we get to say goodbye to each other and to these characters that we've been privileged to play for so long. So this season for me is just sort of absorbing and taking it all in. So.
I never thought I'd get to make out with so many chicks. I mean, it's like a lot. I dry humped an old lady for like more than an hour. Like,
And then he came to work.
and then I came to work. That was Jason's. Sorry. No, I mean, for me, this has been just the craziest, most awesome character, and I've gotten to be, in such a heartfelt show, to get to be the one that comes barreling in, guns a-blazing, and say ridiculous things. And Barney's whole attitude on everyday life is that it's this grand adventure, and if it's not going well, then he makes up a whole story that didn't really happen to make it even better. And there's something so freeing and exciting creatively about that. And I had grown up playing, as a kid, playing different roles that were all kind of confined by normalcy and being like the little nucleus with all these fun people around it. So it's been awesome and freeing just creatively for me to be able to be the kind of crazy one within the show. It's a little mental at times, but I've just been super appreciative that Carter and Craig wrote Barney the way he did from the pilot on, and continued to stay on the show and didn't, bail on season 3 and hop onto other adventures, but they've stuck with us, so it's allowed a continuity that's been great, and I get to wear dope suits, and so I will absolutely look back on this chapter as the best work experience that I will have ever done. We get an amazing work week, and we have, like everyone continues to say, a deeply amazing crew and a cast of people that we'll be with forever. But also, like, the back and forth of you guys being able to be so supportive of the show has been just outstanding. So it's been a really awesome chapter for me.
Last but not least.
What was the question? Just kidding. I'm just so grateful we get to have a last season to really just end it the way the writers deserve to end it, but also to thank you guys for your support. And it is just so amazing that a sitcom could have fans like you guys. I mean, it's really so touching that, you guys know the show way better than I do. Like, I do these interviews, I'm like, can I just tweet some people for a second to answer that? And it's just, this season really already feels like a big thank you to you. And it's just been such an amazing experience across the board, and you guys kept us on the air, and thanks.